if you look at the different pavilions, everywhere we are talking about the different innovations and other things. But based on our experiences, what we can say that innovation should be pragmatic, it should be simple, and it should be scalable. So that's the mantra we need to adapt. And when we design the program, we should also think about when you talk about the adaptation or even the loss of damage fund. We need to be clear about the one thing that this is not a one-shot design. Continuous iteration and adaptation is required to fine-tune that model and to be relevant based on the changing context, based on the changing climate context, based on the changing economic context. So yeah, here, and another thing is very important that as a BRAC, we never leave the ground. So we shouldn't never leave the ground. We should learn from the ground. What is happening and what is working and what is not. So in BRAC, actually, our staff is on the ground, talking with the participants, knowing the impact. So we never leave the ground. So this is the one important thing we should remember. Yeah. In terms of example, I would like to give you an example of a graduation approach. When we launched it, then we never thought about that this will be adopted by 50 other countries. But that's the thing happened because you followed these rules when we implemented this program. So that I can iterate that yes. So if you really design the program well, and here partnership is also important. We need to do partnership with the research organization and other organization to create evidence and tell the world that it really works. And also, like, we cannot do it alone, we need partnership with government and other organizations to scale this. So in Bangladesh, graduation is a success case. So we are hoping to have the same success for the climate change agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Babar, you talked about research, joint research, coordinated research, and clearly that is very important when you're talking about cryosphere and about glacial and about snow volumes. So how can EC board use the neutral space that it offers to take this agenda forward? If you had to make an easy ask for regional cooperation, what would that be for you?
Thank you, Sasha. I think if we look at the existing efforts, our current ongoing efforts of the regional member countries to generate the data and information that is required to make an informed decision, you would wonder to listen. Like, out of 54,000 glaciers, only 20 or 28 glaciers are being monitored properly all across the Hindu Kush. So the data generated from these 28, to what extent can be representative to apply to make a decision for all the glaciers of the region. What I want to highlight is that we are acutely short of real high quality credible data about the changing behavior of glaciers, permafrost, snow and ice in this region. So there is a dire need of generating quality data and, more importantly, sharing that data for proper decision making, for appropriate, rather I would say, decision making. Second important point that I want to make is, if somewhere some data is available, it's not accessible. Cannot be accessed and used by someone. And in extreme cases, if we have some data available and accessible, that data is not used to make a decision at the time when it is highly needed. So I think we need to work together to generate this data to fill the critical data and knowledge gaps. What CMOT has done so far is just in the last Regional Science Policy Forum on Climate and Cryosphere in the Hindu-Kush region, which was held in Kathmandu on 21st, 22nd of September. The participants, around 100 plus scientists, practitioners, policy makers attended the event. they unanimously agreed to form a high-level technical working group on cryosphere. So the work of this TOR, we are working on the TOR of the group, and one of the key responsibilities of the group will be to gather whatever data on cryosphere is available, and take a stock of it and do an analysis and identify the gaps, and then develop a plan to fill the research gap through joint proposals, research interventions, and working with universities. As you better know, Himalayan University Consortium is one of the biggest networks that we have with scientists from the region and abroad. They can be engaged in this work, but we are in the process of forming setting up this technical working group to develop the research agenda on cryosphere for the HKH and lead it and take it forward. So we are quite hopeful from ICMOD side that these type of mechanisms, because this technical working group will ultimately become part of the high-level regional institutional mechanism on which ICMOD is working for all the HKH countries to be part of that. And once this research goes into the high-level mechanism, based on this information, they will take decisions for collaborative and collective actions.
Thank you so much. I'm going to end the discussion with you, Bharti. I know you're not a diplomat, but you've been associated very closely with diplomacy. They say that all doors are closed, diplomacy has the key that unlocks doors and opens up new opportunities. So we're looking at a South Asia that is not as integrated as it could have been, and we've missed out many opportunities. Climate here is offering us one window of cooperation to open that conversation. So what kind of diplomatic initiatives do you think the two countries need to take to engage with each other, to start talking about that?
So, to be honest, I'm kind of blank about what diplomatic initiatives people can take, because it's the last 76 years have shown that it's always been an uphill and tricky and thorny path, and sometimes it's beautiful and sometimes it lacerates people's skins. So I kind of fear going to treading on paths where genuine, informed, brilliant diplomats have treaded, because I don't believe that's a path for me to take. But what I can talk about with confidence is what civil society should do. And I think what we really have to start doing, and I think part of us gets engrossed in our own national crises, somewhere you have floods and somewhere you have droughts, and I believe we have to kind of proactively find the mind space above all to at least begin. And I've been saying this, I know in this panel I sound very repetitive, but I think really sharing, there's technology, there's how to do it, and there's new ideas, and there's a lot of interesting policy. I've been quite surprised by how little we share of policy that works, because one of the reasons why we aspire to kind of be more united is because of our shared cultural footprint and our shared cultural and heritage and the way that we think. And culture isn't dance and art, it's really how you think and how you try to save and how you appreciate frugality, right? That's what culture is. So I think we have to kind of also play on that. That's a more open door. So I'll stop there.
Thank you very much. I think we will conclude this session, and I think my key takeaways from this session are that we really have a lot of opportunities that we can tap. And like Bharti said, when we talk about sharing, it's not about shared prosperity, it is sharing across sectors. And for actors to engage at all levels and see what role each one of us can play, given our own skill set and our own ability to engage and make a difference. And I think what truly is perhaps missing from this conversation right now is that the level of perseverance and commitment and sincerity and climate crises and other disasters that are happening in the region that are going to affect our collective security will perhaps be the nudge that we need to move forward, I think, with more determination and more commitment to achieve the collective goals that we need to achieve as a region to ensure our human security. So thank you very much, panelists. Thank you for your time and thank you for your participation. Deeply appreciated.